The three cars had been following them for 12 minutes. Same pattern, same distance. "Driver, can you take a different route?" David Rodriguez glanced at his passenger through the rearview mirror, then at the vehicles trailing behind. Because David wasn't just an Uber driver, and tonight, this simple ride was about to become a protection mission that would expose everything. But this story's beginning traced back 5 years earlier. David Rodriguez had been working as an Uber driver in Miami for 5 years. At 46, he was quiet, dependable, an experienced driver who averaged 12 to 15 trips daily on the city's busiest streets. Over 5 years, he had transported thousands of passengers, business executives, tourists, students, nightlife enthusiasts. He had provided the same professional service to all of them: clean vehicle, safe driving, minimal conversation. His Uber rating was 4.98, perfect rating. Passengers always wrote the same things in their reviews: safe driving, on-time arrival, quiet and respectful driver. But there was something David's passengers didn't know. The safety measures he took for their protection were far beyond standard Uber driver training. David would conduct security sweeps around vehicles before every trip. He constantly monitored rear-view mirrors. He didn't choose routes randomly. He always preferred the safest, most controllable paths. And in the vehicle, in places passengers couldn't see, were equipment that no standard Uber driver would ever possess. David, who'd been working Miami streets for 5 years, was giving subtle but critical signals. Next to the GPS in the car was a second navigation system, law enforcement grade. Regular customers didn't know what this was: a hidden compartment under the dashboard. Inside were communication devices, emergency equipment, and tools that an ordinary driver would never know about. David's driving style was also different. Evasive driving techniques, defensive positioning, pursuit awareness, these weren't taught in ordinary driving courses. Most importantly, David's passenger assessment skills. He would evaluate every passenger who got in the car within seconds. Body language, stress indicators, potential threat levels. Because David Rodriguez had served in the United States Secret Service for 13 years, not as an ordinary agent, in the Presidential Protection Detail as an executive protection specialist. David Rodriguez came from a small Miami neighborhood when he joined the Secret Service at 25, but his protective instincts and tactical awareness were exceptional. After basic training, he was assigned to the Executive Protection Division. Secret Service Executive Protection was one of the world's most sophisticated protection programs. During 2 years of intensive training, it covered everything necessary to protect the highest profile targets: advanced threat assessment, evasive driving, close protection tactics, emergency response protocols. First assignment: Vice President's security team in Washington, D.C. High-profile events, international travel, threat neutralization. David's specialty was advanced reconnaissance and route planning. Second assignment: protection coordination during international heads of state visits to the U.S., UN meetings, bilateral summits, state dinners, multiple threat environments, complex security protocols. Third assignment: the most elite assignment, President's Direct Protection Team, classified movements, emergency evacuations, counter-assault operations. This experience made David a peak-level protection specialist. Over 13 years, David had served in 1,247 protection missions. Not a single security breach had occurred in any of them. David's final assignment changed everything. During an international summit, an assassination attempt was made against the protected principal. Coordinated attack, multiple shooters, David's team was surrounded. David protected the principal in a safe house for 2 hours. Firefight with attackers, tactical withdrawal, emergency evacuation. The operation was successful, the principal was safe. But David's partner, Agent Sarah Coleman, was lost in the crossfire. They had worked together for 6 years. David held himself responsible for her loss. That night, David made the decision to end his Secret Service career. Protection work had given him purpose, but it had also emotionally devastated him. David received trauma counseling, career transition support, and readjustment therapy. Normal life was a challenge for him. He had lived in constant alertness for 13 years. Uber driving was an unexpected choice, but it was a perfect fit for David. He could safely transport people, use his protective skills in peacetime. He relocated to Miami to escape the memories in Washington. When he applied to Uber, his security background was checked. Clean record, excellent recommendations. But Secret Service specifics remained confidential. Same routine for 5 years, 10 to 15 rides daily, ensuring maximum safety for every passenger, providing incident-free service. David was working Saturday night shift in the Miami Beach area. Weekends were busy. Tourists, park-goers, business travelers, high demand, good money. The evening had started normally. Airport pickup, hotel transfer, restaurant drop-off, standard rides, friendly passengers, routine conversations. At 10:15 p.m., David received a pickup request from a luxury hotel in South Beach. Passenger name, Jennifer K. Destination, Brickell Avenue Business District. David arrived at the hotel. An elegantly dressed woman approached from valet parking. 30s, professional attire, nervous but composed demeanor. David? Uber for Jennifer? Yes, ma'am. Jennifer? That's me. Jennifer settled into the back seat. As David entered the destination into GPS, he observed the passenger through the rear-view mirror. Stress indicators, frequent glances, fidgeting hands, elevated breathing. Everything okay, ma'am? David politely inquired. Fine, thank you. Just, could we take a different route? Maybe avoid the highway? David's training immediately activated. Route change requests, especially at night, were potential red flags. But customer service required flexibility. Of course, local streets are more scenic anyway. But David was also scanning the surroundings, vehicles departing from hotel exit, potential followers, unusual activity patterns. That's when he noticed them. The first car exited hotel parking exactly 30 seconds after David. Black sedan, tinted windows, 2 occupants. David followed normal traffic pattern, right turn onto Collins Avenue, steady speed, casual driving style. He monitored through the rearview mirror. The black sedan was following the same route, same distance, same speed. The second car appeared when they turned onto Ocean Drive. Different vehicle, same characteristics. Dark color, professional appearance, multiple occupants. David's Secret Service training went into full alert mode. This wasn't coincidence. This was organized surveillance. Ma'am, David said calmly, do you mind me asking, are you expecting anyone to meet us at the destination? Jennifer's response was immediate. Number Y. Just checking. Sometimes passengers have parties waiting. But David was actually conducting threat assessment. Jennifer's body language changed, more tense, more alert. She knew something. The third vehicle joined on Washington Avenue. Blue SUV, same pattern. At this point, David was certain, professional surveillance operation in progress. For 12 minutes, the 3-car follow pattern had been maintained. Same distance intervals, coordinated movements, professional execution. Jennifer finally spoke. Driver, can you take a different route? David's response was perfectly calm, but internally he was in full combat mode. Absolutely, I know some shortcuts. David began subtly changing the route. Test maneuvers, sudden lane changes, unexpected turns, speed variations, professional surveillance check techniques. All 3 vehicles matched every move. Professionally trained drivers, advanced coordination, definitely not random. Ma'am, David said, maintaining calm tone, I need to ask directly. Is someone following you? Jennifer's facade cracked. I think so. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to take some precautions. Trust me, please. David's hands tightened slightly on the steering wheel. 13 years of protection training activated, vehicle pursuit evasion protocols, defensive driving techniques, threat neutralization strategies. First maneuver, unexpected hard right into narrow side street, pursuers forced into reactive driving, coordination temporarily disrupted. Second maneuver, rapid acceleration through yellow light, 1 vehicle caught at intersection, pursuit pattern broken. Jennifer noticed the driving change immediately. How do you know how to drive like this? David didn't answer yet. Professional focus required, 2 vehicles still tracking, adapting to his countermeasures. Third maneuver, complex route through residential area, multiple turns, narrow streets, pursuit difficult to maintain. David was using advanced evasive driving, not random panic, but calculated tactical movement. Sir, Jennifer said, voice trembling, you're scaring me. What's happening? David finally responded, "Ma'am, those cars have been following us for 18 minutes. Professional pattern. You're in danger." Jennifer broke down. "They said they'd find me. I thought I was safe." "Who said they'd find you?" "I can't tell you. You don't understand." David pulled into a secure location, 24-hour gas station with good lighting, security cameras, multiple exit routes, protection specialist habit. "Jennifer, I need you to tell me what's happening. I can help, but I need information." Jennifer hesitated, then, "I witnessed something. Something I shouldn't have seen. These people, they're dangerous." "What kind of dangerous?" "The kind that makes people disappear." David's training kicked into overdrive. Witness protection scenario, high-value target, professional pursuit team. "Jennifer, listen carefully. I'm not just an Uber driver." Her eyes widened. "Secret Service, 13 years, executive protection. Those skills don't disappear when you change jobs." Jennifer stared. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. Right now, you're under my protection. But I need to know exactly what we're dealing with." Jennifer took a deep breath. "I work for a financial firm. Last week, I accidentally accessed files I shouldn't have. Money laundering, international transfers, criminal organizations. My supervisor found out I'd seen them." David nodded. "And now they want to ensure your silence. Permanently." David's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered carefully. "Mr. Rodriguez." The voice was cold, professional. "We know who you are. Former Secret Service, impressive resume." David's blood chilled. "What do you want?" "The woman, nothing more. Walk away and you live." David looked at Jennifer's terrified face. "Not happening." "Then you've chosen poorly." The line went dead. David immediately shifted gears. This was no longer simple evasion. This was an active threat neutralization scenario. "Jennifer, we're changing locations. Now." "Where?" "Somewhere safer. Get down. Stay low." David pulled out, but not randomly. He had a specific destination in mind: Miami Police Department's downtown precinct. Safe haven, backup support, controlled environment. But the pursuers had regrouped. All three vehicles converged on the gas station simultaneously. Professional box formation, escape routes cut off. David had seconds to react. "Hold on tight." Advanced evasive driving initiated. High-speed exit from parking lot, weaving through traffic, using civilian vehicles as shields, not endangering innocents, but creating confusion for pursuers. Jennifer was terrified. "They're still following." David remained calm. "I see them. We're going somewhere they can't follow." "Where?" "Police station." "No, I can't go to police. They said if I involved authorities." "Jennifer, those people just threatened to kill both of us. Police protection is your only option." The pursuit intensified. The lead vehicle attempted a P8 maneuver, professional takedown technique. David countered with defensive driving, maintaining control. The second vehicle tried to box them in. David was using Secret Service training, threat vehicle assessment, escape route calculation, tactical decision-making under pressure. "How do you know all this?" Jennifer screamed. 13 years protecting people exactly like you." David approached the police station, but the pursuers were desperate. They attempted an aggressive takedown maneuver in the final blocks. David had a decision: continue to the station and risk civilian casualties, or handle the threat directly. Secret Service training made the choice clear: neutralize the threat before reaching populated area. Sharp turn into empty parking garage. Controlled environment, no civilians. Tactical advantage to the defender. "Jennifer, get out and run to that building. Call 911. Tell them federal witness under attack." "What about you?" "I'm ending this." David exited the vehicle as 3 cars surrounded him. 6 men, professional appearance, concealed weapons. The leader approached. "Mr. Rodriguez, this doesn't concern you." David stood calm, hands visible but ready. "It does now. Walk away. Last chance." "I don't walk away from people under my protection." The lead man signaled the others, weapons drawn. David's Secret Service combat training activated. 13 years of tactical scenarios, threat assessment, close protection under fire. Movement was precise. Cover behind vehicle, communication with emergency services, systematic threat evaluation. But David wasn't here to fight. He was here to protect. Mission priority: ensure Jennifer's safety, facilitate law enforcement response, maintain tactical advantage until backup arrived, police sirens approaching, professional criminals smart enough to know when operation was compromised. This isn't over, Rodriguez. Yes, it is. Police arrived with full tactical response. David's Secret Service credentials immediately shifted the dynamic. Federal witness protection protocols were initiated. Jennifer was safe, perpetrators detained, the criminal organization's money laundering exposed through her testimony. Detective Maria Santos interviewed David. "Mr. Rodriguez, you handled this like a professional." "I was a professional. Different context now." "Why didn't you identify yourself earlier? Secret Service credentials would have streamlined everything." David hesitated. "Because I left that life behind. Tonight was an exception." "Exception?" "Someone needed protection, old habits." Jennifer approached before leaving with federal marshals. "David, I don't know how to thank you. Just stay safe, testify, help them put these people away." "Will I see you again?" David smiled sadly. "I hope not. That would mean you're still in danger." A week later, local news reported, "International money laundering ring dismantled, key witness testimony instrumental in arrests." David watched from his apartment, case closed, justice served, innocent person protected. His phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Rodriguez, this is Deputy Director Harrison, Secret Service." David's heart rate elevated. "Sir?" "Impressive work in Miami. We've been monitoring the situation." "Sir, I'm no longer active duty." "Understood. But we have consulting opportunities for agents with your expertise. Private sector protection, witness security coordination." David considered. "I appreciate the offer, sir." "Think about it. Skills like yours shouldn't be wasted on ride-sharing." "With respect, sir, protecting people isn't waste, whether it's presidents or Uber passengers." "Fair point, Rodriguez. Call if you change your mind." Today, David Rodriguez still drives for Uber in Miami. He still maintains a 4.98 rating, still provides safe, professional transportation. But things have changed subtly. Local law enforcement knows his background. The FBI has him on their consultant list. The Secret Service maintains contact. David received recognition from Miami Police Department, Civilian Award for Extraordinary Courage. He declined the public ceremony, accepted private acknowledgement. Jennifer sends Christmas cards from her new location under witness protection, always signed "To my guardian angel driver." David keeps those cards in his glove compartment next to his old Secret Service badge. Not for nostalgia, but as a reminder, the protection mission never truly ends. 6 months after the incident, David received an unusual request. A high-profile businessman needed secure transportation, had specifically requested David based on recommendation. "How did you hear about me?" "Federal contacts. They say you're the best protection driver in Miami." David smiled. "I'm just an Uber driver, sir." "No, Mr. Rodriguez, you're much more than that." David started the engine. The mission continuing. Just different uniform. Because real protectors don't stop protecting. They just find new people who need protection. Sarah Coleman's memory lived on in every passenger David kept safe. Her sacrifice hadn't been in vain if it led to David saving others. The skills forged in protection of presidents now safeguarded ordinary citizens. The training developed in Washington now served Miami streets. And sometimes extraordinary situations require ordinary-looking heroes to step forward and do what they've always done: protect those who cannot protect themselves. David Rodriguez's story is authentic. He's still out there on Miami streets, continuing to transport people safely. Maybe there are similar hidden protectors in your community too. Maybe your driver, your security guard, or your service provider has also lived a very different life in the past. Show them respect, because they deserve much more than what's apparent. Here at Hidden Legends, we continue to narrate the stories of these types of hidden protectors. Tell us in the comments, from which city are you watching this video, and have you ever encountered someone with such a concealed protective background? If David's story impacted you, appreciate the video and subscribe to the Hidden Legends channel. Activate notifications because we share the unknown stories of authentic heroes every single day. And remember, Your service provider might also be someone similar to David Rodriguez. Observe them, show them respect. Until we meet in the next Hidden Legends video.